this first example, we're going to be doing law of cosines. I've given you the formula and the triangle that goes with it so that you can kind of relate those sides together, see the patterns. I would write it down or have access to it as we're doing this first problem so that you can actually make sense of it. So let's take a look. Our first problem says solving a triangle. Solve the triangle ABC, given A is 11, B is 5, and angle C is 20 degrees. The first thing we observe in this problem is that we're given two side lengths and the angle between them, which allows us to know that this is side angle side. Our mission for this problem is to solve. When it asks you to solve a triangle, it means find all the remaining angles and sides. And then our game plan for this is going to be to use law of cosines. When we start drawing out the triangle and developing, you'll understand why we have to use law of cosines. So we're going to use it first to find side length C because we're given angle C. And then we're going to use law of cosines to find remaining information, and then what we know about triangles to find anything else that's left over. So I'm going to draw this triangle. I'm really bad at drawing triangles, so I literally always draw an equilateral because it makes it easier. So I'm going to label this A, B, C, and then it tells me little a is 11, little b is 5, little c we don't have. I call them little because that's easy for my brain. And then angle C is 20 degrees. So we have all this information set up. As you can see, we're given enough information. We're given little a, little b, angle C. That's going to help us to know what side length to solve for first. So the only logical one that has enough information to plug into the formula is to find side length C. All right, so I'm going to plug it into the formula. So I'm going to say C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB, and then cosine of C, which is 20 degrees. And then from here, it's super easy because your calculator, especially if you have a nice calculator, will let you plug that all in at once. So if you do that, if you plug it all in at once, you get it to equal 42.6. And then once you have that side simplified, to get C by itself, you just square root both sides. Again, throw that in the calculator, and you get C is equal to 6.5 about. So we're going to estimate it to be 6.5. Then from here, once I have that information, I'm going to erase this, and I'm going to solve for an angle. I'm going to start with angle B. It doesn't matter, you can solve for any of them, but I'm going to just do B. So I'm going to set that up. So I know the side across from B is 5. So I'm going to say 5 squared is equal to 11 squared plus 6.5 squared minus 2 times A times 6.5 cosine B. And then I just use order of operations and start simplifying. So I get 25 equals 121 plus 42.25. Put that in there. Minus, and then 2 times 11 times 65 is, or 6.5, excuse me, is going to be 143. And then cosine B. And then again, I'm just going to keep solving backwards. So combine like terms if you can. 25 equals 121 plus 42.25 is 163.25. Drop everything else down. And then I subtract the 163.25 minus 163.25. When I subtract those, I get negative 138.25 equals negative 143 cosine B. Divide both sides by 143, the negative of it, and I get, I'm going to write that over here, cosine of B is equal to 0.96. My negatives cancel out, so it's a positive. Once I'm here, if I'm looking for an angle, so I'm trying to isolate B, trying to find big B, I have cosine B equals 0.96. A lot of people like to say, okay, so then it's 96 degrees. You cannot do that. You have to get B by itself. So to do that, you say B is equal to, and you take the inverse of 0.96. That cancels the cosine out on this side, and whatever you do to one side, right, you have to do to the other. So cosines and their inverses cancel out. That's why it's no longer here. and the inverse cosine of 0.96 is equal to approximately 15 degrees. So I know that angle B is equal to 15 degrees. And then from there, this is pretty simple. I just take the two angles that I have, so I have 20 and 15, and I subtract them from 180. So I do 180 minus 20, that gives me 160. Then I subtract 15 from that, and that gives me about 145 degrees. Again, these are all estimates, so if you rounded, you probably didn't get these exact numbers, but we should have got, for our final answer, C is 6.5, A is 11, B is 5, angle B is 15, angle C is 20, and angle A is 145. And if we want to check real quick, our biggest angle is across from our largest side, our smallest angle is across from our smallest side. That's a quick check for us, so we know that we are finished with this problem. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. If you want to get better at math, subscribe to my videos here. If you want more information on math, click on my website link here.